Certainly want to welcome Frank Kepka, our Region 8 manager for PGA Junior League. On the call, we have Mike Arms as well. And Frank is just kind of going to walk us through step by step the new registration process with our new web page that's rolled out, and how to sign up a team, in kind of a step by step process and guide, if you would. So, Frank, I'll let you kind of take over, and Mike, please, any questions you have, add to the input, if you would.
You betcha. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen here a little bit. Okay. That way you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So here we go. All right. This site you see up there, you both can see that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the main browser that you, whether it be a coach, and in years past, Mike, you might remember when you were at Glenn's, we used to call it captains and coaches.
Right.
We've kind of eliminated that whole captain verbiage now. So we have coaches and we have assistant coaches. So whoever signs up, whoever is the main overseer of the program, we want that person to be the coach. We can do that through this website right here. Okay, as you can see, and this is just simply pgajrleague.com.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the same website that our parents will go to if they have any questions or if they're looking to locate a program. As you can see up here in the upper right where it says find programs. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you a couple things on here. For anyone who has questions about the program, when I click on the Learn tab, it gives you how it works, who are partners, and some of the different news of what is out there. How it works will give you the ins and outs, if you will, of PGA Junior League. All right, what's included in everything, why we're here, how it works along those lines. The play aspect of it gives you, again, the ability when we get going in the season to find the local league standings. It tells you a little bit about the Game Changer Club, which I'm going to explain here in just a second, and then how to find a program. And the compete side of it really has to do with all the different seasons. We're way premature on talking about the All-Stars and the section qualifiers and that kind of stuff because we need to get through the local. But that's also here, and the parents get a chance to see all of that. From your standpoint, you would go to the Coach tab. And it's simply just, become a coach, or in your case, if you've already started to sign up, mm-hmm. Coach login. So when you click on become a coach, here's the everything you see, and then you can click on this, and it goes to become a coach. Now I'm going to click off of this. I want if you're willing to do this is where you'll click on, but I'm going to click off because I'm going to go into what I call a test site, which is right here. So if I had clicked on that become a coach, it would bring me to this screen right here. And your username and password, the first screen might prompt you to be a PGA member. Does it show you that blue box?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you click on that blue box, the PGA member, then it gets you to this screen. Is that what you
I'm there.
Said? Okay. Yeah. This narrative right here in the middle is a tutorial of pretty much what I'm going to say here. So if you have some questions, feel free to just kind of go through the next by next by next. All right. But I'm going to X out of it because I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to see. This is the main screen, and there are three different things here. There's a resource center, which kind of gives you all the valuable flyers, information, the coaching requirements, which is what you talked about. Mm-hmm. And this is where you'll go into for your background screen and your APS training. And that's something as simple as just clicking on the manager requirements. Mm-hmm. So when you start that, the background screen is good because that takes 3 to 4 days, to kind of click on there and get your site. There's nothing you need to do other than fill out the forms. and it will ask you, kind of like your social security, your address, and all that, because they'll do a background screen. Every one of your assistant coaches are also asked to go through that background screen. We pay for everything, so they need to go through that. They will also need to do the APS training. And one thing to keep in mind with the APS and the background screen, those are good for 2 years. So whatever we do this year are good for next year also.
Okay.
Right? And start to finish with the videos and everything, you're looking at about 30 minutes. Okay, the background screen takes you 5 to fill out. The APS training, again, 30 minutes of watching those videos and then just kind of doing a little 2 or 3 question, pretty common sense things as we who are all people, know how to deal with youth people. But it's something that, the PGA legal team really wants us to do. For purposes today, I'm going to show you this where you would start to register, in this case, Pinnacle Country Club. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go here to the PGA League location. And again, keep in mind, this is a test site. When you go to that one, yours will be live. So I'm clicking on View Locations. And you can see as a test site, I already have one up in there. All right. You're going to click on the blue button that says Add a Location. And it's going to look like this. And it's something nearly as simple as just going into Select the Facility and typing in Pinnacle Country Club. Now, as you can see, we got a number of different Pinnacle Country Clubs, so you want to make sure you get Pinnacle CC in Milan. Did I pronounce it? Is it Milan?
Yes.
I thought it was. That's it. All right. Let me know.
I got Pinnacle CC up.
Yep, good. And notice the facility address there.
Yeah.
Is that the correct facility address?
That's a mailing address. I noticed there's another Pinnacle Country Club Milan that's got the actual physical address on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you take the CC off and look, it will say Pinnacle Country Club Milan.
Click on that one.
Yeah, I got it up.
Yeah, and okay. What's important was if you'd used the first one that I had on there, there's a little blue button now that says Use Facility Address for Shipping.
Right.
We do not want to use a post office box. So this is good that we went to the straight Pinnacle Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got the correct address. When we're down here, we're going to scroll down a little bit. We're going to go to Customize Your Location. And Mike, this is something that as you look through these reports, something that I want you to kind of be aware of also. Okay. If it says location name and it's optional, if you do nothing else, and just kind of go down to the next different one, it will automatically populate with 2022 PGA Junior League. That doesn't tell anybody anything. Okay, because there are 3,000 PGA Junior Leagues around. So the best thing to do would be to go in there and put something somewhat descriptive of you. So in your case, you might put Pinnacle CC PGA Junior League, or whatever you feel like you want to call the program. And again, I'm on a test, so whatever you put is what you put.
Frank, you would suggest putting your facility name just to set it aside?
Yes, because what is in there, Mike, is what's going to come into the Find a Program setting. And I'll show you that when we go back to that other screen.
So I put Pinnacle Country Club Junior League.
Perfect. And then, and keep in mind too, Mike, anything we put in there is editable. Okay, so if you decide, if Erin comes back and decides that she wants it to say, Mike's Marauders Junior League program, great. We can go back then and we can change it that way. The location description, you can put in something that located at Pinnacle Country Club, Milan, Illinois, or you can put in however you want to do it. Okay. Where that would be important for those that might be watching on the video is if this were, let's say, the first tee of the Quad Cities. The location description might be our program will be taking place at whatever facility it is, whether it's TPC, Palmer Hills. So, Mike Downing, you get where I'm going with that one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and the fact that we have we get stuff shipped to us for Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers, Arkansas. It's probably good to say Milan, Illinois there.
Absolutely. All right. As you scroll down, the PGA Junior League online shop. And this is something I'm just going to explain to you right now. We, similar to Mike, you both been around, and again, you've both been around the block as far as the PGA of America, as have I. And we're familiar. Remember the old bookstore, Mike? You know where you can buy. Okay. Well, the online shop is a special shop that we've created for PGA Junior League merchandise. You would have, if you opt in, you would have a special code that would bring a link to you that you would pass on to your parents and your constituents. If they bought something in that online bookstore shop with that code, they would pay retail. It would be shipped directly to them. It would have PGA Junior League logo on it. You get the profits. You don't have anything to do with it. You don't touch the merchandise. You don't coordinate the merchandise. It's just something that you can do out there. For purposes of starting your registration, you can opt in or you can opt out, and we can always add back in. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you opt in, it's going to ask you, who is your brand affiliation? And when you click on that, we have 5 main vendors. All that does is mean that you are maybe a Callaway person or a Titleist person. So when that link comes up, the first screen they're going to see is a plethora of that brand. Now you have access to everything on the shop, but like I'm a Titleist guy. You know, if I put in Titleist, everyone would see first all the little Titleist stuff first before they see TaylorMade or Ping or something like that. But that's what that is. Again, there's some things for purposes of starting. I usually just go to the whole opt out. Okay. Knowing that I'll come back in, and you can always ask me or Mike Downing a question later, you know, if you want to put it in, because you're going to set up, you know, if you do opt in, it's going to ask you who's going to get the proceeds for that merchandise and the mailing address, so they can send the check to them that way. Okay.
Okay.
As you scroll down, here gives you an ability if you want to have this, you know, tied into any social media as your Facebook or Instagram, you can do that. You know, some of us in the silver set might not be nearly as, savvy on the social media, but I guarantee you probably Aaron, okay, and some other, you know, younger assistants are. So if you want to kind of come in on that a little bit later, you can do that.
Okay.
Frank, and this is probably, you know, you talk about social media. That's a great opportunity to advertise your programming as well, right? So for registration and all that.
Absolutely. You know, so, and I would say this, if you, like, for example, I use Mark Krizik, okay, as an example. I mean, what he knows about social media and what he's done over at Fire Lake is incredible. He will utilize that, okay, to the fullest extent. That doesn't make his program any better than anyone else, but he knows what avenues and marketing opportunities. So when you get through that screen on that, all you're going to do is hit save. And at that, Mike, that is all you need to do to start that registration. We have now, I'm going to get an email, as is Mike Downing right now, you know, if you've done that you've set up a location, that you've created an account confirmation. Okay. You know, which is great. And that's the first thing. That's how easy something like that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But now the thing we want to do, and I'm just kind of looking for my email. I don't mean to, it should be coming any second. The next thing you're going to want to do is this is where you want to create your program. Okay.
Okay.
And Mike Downing, what we need to do is at some point in time when, we'll talk next week too, when we're down there and we see each other for a few minutes. Those that have done this, I'll do this later. We want to kind of get them up and going because player registration starts February 1. So the ones that are signed up are the ones that people are going to see. But Mike Arms, if you hit create program.
Okay, it's on online payments right now.
Right. So perfect, right where it should be. Let me explain this to you. In years past, and still to this year, there are two ways for a coach to collect payments from parents. There is what we call the online version, where we, the PGA of America, collect every penny of the program. And then once we send the jerseys, we sent you a check or a direct deposit, okay, for all the money we pass out. In this case, this year, we've changed that, where we've changed it to what we call a Stripe account, which is like another version of Venmo, PayPal. We still will collect all the money. With Stripe, you can set that up. As a parent registers, that money immediately goes right to you or the account that you set it up. So it can go to you. You can have it set up to go to Aaron's personal account. You can set it to go to Pinnacle Country Club's, personal account.
Okay.
Totally up to you. Okay. If you decide that you don't want to put that kind of banking information, because it would need a routing number and an account number.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You would then opt out of that. What that means is you at Pinnacle Country Club would need to collect your coaching fees. We still are going to collect the $99 annual Game Changer fee, but anything above and beyond that, you're going to collect. Private clubs do that quite a bit because they have places that like to member bill.
Okay.
As Johnny or Susie signs up, boom, they we're going to member bill them. Now, there's a convenience factor of having the parent do it totally online. And it's not something that members are going to, balk at. We have found over the course of 5-6 years, parents are used to online registrations for soccer, for hockey, lacrosse, whatever it might be. So it becomes a very personal situation for you and your facility. Right?
Yeah.
If you want to move forward, setting it up, you hit set Stripe payments and then enter your bank number, your routing number and that. If you want to move forward for today's purposes without setting it, you can always go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to hit the blue continue without online payments.
Okay.
And here's where we get into the nuts and bolts of actually creating a program. All right. So under your program name, you basically want to put in there the same thing we did on the other one. Okay. So Pinnacle Country Club, your program description. This will be kind of, again, I use the term nuts and bolts of what you're going to do. A social, less competitive way of entering in. It's going to be Tuesday nights. We're going to have one practice a week, one match a week. We'll be playing against teams in the Quad Cities, whatever you decide. Okay. And certainly, you have the luxury of having Mike Downing, who knows the area and, probably can give you a lot more better verbiage that works for you. But that's where that program description is going to be.
And we also have, saved information from the last couple of years that we could pull for what was used if they want to reuse that exact verbiage again. Correct, Frank?
Yes. Yeah. You have the ability under that captain registration from previous years, to do, cut and paste from somebody else. Okay.
Sure.
But you can pass that on to certainly, Mike that way. What's included, again, what you put in there is you might put each child will receive 2 jerseys, a drawstring backpack, part of the team kit, 1 practice, 1 match a week during the summer months of such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Again, how you market it is totally up to you. I will tell you this: the more you put in there, okay, the better value it becomes to the parents. If you fill up this line right here and you still have stuff you want to add, that's where you're going to add in another line. All right, so you have the ability to keep going and adding what you want. As we scroll down, the blue box right here, the shaded box, is giving you the verbiage of the postseason. And this is kind of our little disclaimer of who is eligible for the postseason. So Mike and I don't have to, again, continue to do this when we get into July and August. You have the ability to have any age kid in your PGA Junior League. The only thing to remember is those children who are age 10 through 13 are eligible for postseason. And we have it right here written in there. If you want to do older kids for 17Us, we have the ages right there also. That's postseason only.
Okay.
For your particular team, I think you're going to click on the 13U. All right. If you have kids at your club that are going to be younger than age 10 or older than age 13, here's where you have the ability to edit the age range by clicking on that. Now, at no point in time does that change the postseason requirements. It just changes who can sign up for your program. So if you want to allow a 4-year-old in, you could. A lot of clubs will say, you know what? I just don't want any kids under age 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're ready for it. I don't disagree. And I've got a couple kids who might be 14 I can put in there. That allows them to actually register online. Doesn't get them into the postseason, like I said, but it does allow them to register. Okay. This next question, as you scroll down the program league. In-house means that everything is going to happen at Pinnacle Country Club or whatever facility is going to be. Multi-facility league will be where you're playing against maybe other teams from Quad Cities, okay, Milan, Sherrard, wherever it is. Mix of in-house and multi-facility. That might be for a program that if you had 20 or 30 kids and you're only going to have one team that's going to travel, but you're going to do a lot of everything on in-house. Brian Johnson up at Elm Crest Country Club is a classic example of that one. Undecided, for purposes right now, you don't know yet. We're going to see how things go. So you're going to click on one of those.
Okay.
The next question becomes your registration options. Am I open to the public? If I'm at Palmer Hills, probably. If I'm at Pinnacle Country Club and I don't mind kids from outside the country club rosters playing, I can put in open to the public. Or if I'm open to the public, but I've got restrictions. And what I mean by that is I've got a core group, and I'll use Palmer Hills as an example because I think this is how Butch does it. Okay. And there's no wrong on this. Butch has a core group of his youth programming that he wants to do for Junior League. And he wants those to have the first chance to sign up. He's going to put on there open to the public with restrictions. Okay. And I'll show you in a minute what would happen because it's going to be the same thing for you as if you put on, well, in order to play here at Pinnacle, you have to be a member, right?
Okay.
I would think. So by clicking on club membership required or open to the public with restrictions, another box pops up and you're going to create an access code that only well, Mike and I will find it out, but that you can then, you pass on to your members. Somebody off the street won't get that. So you're going to send it out in a newsletter to your members saying, 2022 Pinnacle. And let's say whatever you choose. That's an access code. No parent would be able to register unless they have that code or whatever you create. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Then as we go down, it becomes pretty intuitive. How many players do you want? Are you unlimited to all the kids at the club? Great. If you're want to restrict it to the first 12, 24, 36, whatever the number is, you can put that in there. Your registration open date, players can start registering February 1 unless you decide to move it a little deeper into February or early March. Okay, maybe some clubs in the north are closed. Like, are you closed in January right now?
Yes.
Yeah, some clubs are actually open in January, closed in February, so they don't want anything to start until March 1. That's their option. Okay, so you can put in there. If you don't think you're going to be ready to start getting these registrations by February 1, maybe you put February 15th. Okay, it's totally up to you. And then a close date is exactly that. At what point in time are we going to close off the registration so nobody, can sign off? Knowing between the three of us and anyone who's listening, that date can change in a heartbeat. I can go in there tomorrow and Mike can go in there tomorrow and change that to whatever day you want. That's how editable it is. So I guarantee you, Mike, you're going to get a phone call if you set it to close on May 1 and a parent comes up to you on May 5th and said, "Oh, I forgot to do it." Okay. You're going to let them in and so you're going to either call me or Mike, or you're going to do it yourself. Go in there and just change the date to May 5th and boom, they can sign up.
Yeah, no question. That's the most common edit we probably make all season is that one right there. So
absolutely,
super easy to do.
Okay.
And as we scroll down, everything else is pretty much just, the next one is when is your start date? Okay, and this is where you'll determine for Pinnacle, okay, I'm going to start these kids like May 15th or June 1st or something like that, and we're going to be done July 15th. And you'll have an idea of your schedule along those lines. Mm-hmm. So you just plug that in. The more information you give a parent, the better. The next one as we get down here is the fees. And this is going to be, the question that you and your staff need to kind of figure out. We are asking, what do you as the coach want to make, either Pinnacle Country Club or Mike Arms, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. You're going to put in a number there that is your program fee. As you see, if I put in the number there of like $250, it automatically populates over on the other side. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now the actual fee is $349 because that includes the one-time annual game changer, which is the team kit, okay, to the parent of $99. Even though you're going to collect the $250 at Pinnacle or wherever it might be, you still want to put that in there so when it comes up on the website, a parent knows exactly how much the program is going to cost.
What's typical?
Well, it's across the board. It's pretty, I would say in Iowa, 250 to 275 is pretty typical. In Illinois, it's not uncommon to get in the 350 to 375. Okay.
And Mike, in years past, everybody kind of in the Quad Cities would get together and talk about what they're going to do for their programming for PGA Junior League, when they're going to start, how many lessons throughout the week and what have you. And traditionally, they all have kind of had the same price. Mm-hmm. And so That's kind of been a best practice, just so you guys are all consistent. But that doesn't mean you can't go above and beyond and offer more, thus charge more. And we get it, so, where sometimes public facilities have to charge more because of the usage of the golf course, right? So it varies, but I would reach out, or I can give you that information as well to kind of help you.
Okay.
I'll give you another best practice here, and it just happens to be in a rural area outside of the city of Chicago. I mean, it's about 50 miles outside of the city of Chicago. He's at $450 plus the team kit, and you go, whoa, okay, bit pricey. But if a parent were to read in there what they're getting for that, he provides for that 2 months, okay, of junior league, unlimited range time for that child when they show up, unlimited, like a junior membership post 4 or 5 in the afternoon, because he knows he's dead there. It's a public golf course. So again, whatever value you create, okay, now obviously as a member golf course, that might not be, and the range might not be, but if you're saying, okay, here my time, I'm going to offer up, let's say I'm going to do 10 practices of an hour, and we're going to have 6 matches, okay, which is going to be, essentially 12 hours of your time. So now you've got 22 hours in there, and you like to, hey, let's call it what it is. You like to bill $100 an hour. Well, there's $220, and you haven't done anything, if the course needed some money, or if you want to, provide some hot dogs or ice cream party or something like that. So those are the things, don't hesitate to, kind of build on your value.
Mm-hmm.
And to add to that too, you can charge more, stating that, your PGA Junior League is going to extend even past the postseason, and you can run that on your own at Pinnacle with practices, and then maybe form an in-house matches amongst your students. So a lot of different ways you could spin that.
Mm-hmm.
And adding on to that, when I talk about this $99 Game Changer Award, which is brand new for the PGA. If you were at Glenn's, that was a $75 fee in years past. And I have way too many captains who say, wow, you went up $24. First time we've gone up in 11 years. Okay. This year, it's a one-time fee. One-time fee. If you run this program from June 1st to July 15th, let's say, whatever the dates are, okay? And then, as Mike just said, you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to run a little fall program, okay, starting August 1st through September 15th, whatever it might be. And I'm going to get an additional $100 or $200 coaching fee for me for anyone who wants to go in, whether it's half the kids or all the kids. They've already paid that $99. They don't need to pay that again. So once they've got that team kit, it's their team kit for the year. And whether they come to your facility, or if somebody from, Short Hills knew that you were doing a fall program and they were doing it too, and you said, yeah, come on over to our fall program, they've got their team kit. They don't need to pay that again because they've got it. And what we've done this year was, in years past, we would put the team name on the back. We put Pinnacle. This year, because they're signing up and they have the ability to go all over the place, we're putting the player's name on the back.
Okay.
So the parent chooses that. So you might put, like if I want to put Downing on the back, okay, or Mike the Bomber, or a nickname or something like that, Bubba. So we do that.
So Frank, I have a question in regarding that. So in years past, when the juniors got their jersey, they had their team name. That goes away, and it's just last name of the player now.
That's what we're defaulting to this year, because with the Game Changer, there could be so many different changes. I mean, from a different programs. So let's say Bush decided to run an early spring program with a simulator or an outdoor lesson area, and they sign up, but yet they're really members at Pinnacle, okay, and they know they're going to play in the Pinnacle Summer League. They sign up, they get their PGA league, they have their jersey, and then in the summer they're going around. They don't have to worry about, okay, he's got a team jersey that says Palmer Hills on the back, okay, and they're going to be playing at Pinnacle. So we've opted for that.
Yeah. And then also too, as kids grow, Mike, you know, they could be a small in the spring, summer, and by fall comes around, they could be a medium or large. So there's no additional charge to swap out jerseys.
There's no additional charge on the get-go, Mike. If late in the fall a kid grows out of it, I don't want to say that definitively yet, but like if Bobby comes in the first go and his mom put him into a boys medium and she meant to put him into a men's medium, we'll switch that out in a heartbeat. We'll make that right from the get-go. Later in the fall, I can't say that definitively, Mike.
Okay.
But it won't be $99 either. Okay, for a replacement that way. So that's what that is. And then as we just kind of go through, okay, follow down the team kit, you're going to put down what you think is a delivery date. And what I would say to you is, whatever the delivery date is, okay, if your program is going to start May 15th, I would give it a good 3 weeks, ahead of time is when you want your delivery date. So if you're going to start May 15th, you might put in there that you want them April 15th. All this date is, we're not sending the jerseys without your sign off.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to send you an email, okay? And the follow-up is going to come from the website, Mike Downing, Frank Keppa. We're going to come in and say, hey, Mike, you put down that you are thinking of your jerseys April 15th. Is that still the target date? And you're going to say, wow, actually, I could take them earlier, okay, because I've got all my kids here already. Or you might say, you know what, I need to get some more kids signed up. Let's push that back a week or two. Okay.
Okay.
The promotional kit, once you do this, that's going to come to you, and that will have all the flyers and posters that you can hang up in the shop. Okay. And then when you're done, you're just going to hit publish. And that's when everything will come, that's when you'll go live. And I'll show you here. Let's see, back to this. Let's see if I can get back to that screen. Yes, I can. All right. So I'm back to this main screen again. All right. So once you hit publish and you're in there and you've passed your background screening in an APS, I should make sure you know that. Mm-hmm. So once you've got your requirements done, if a parent goes into find programs, now these are all the ones that are like, it kind of intuitively knows where I'm living and it goes within 100 miles. But if I go in here and I just go into type, okay.
Just do, okay. Yeah.
Iowa. Okay. So I'm going to start at Iowa City, Iowa. Okay. And here we go. These are the ones that are background screens and APS have changed, and they've created their programs. So far, 2. Okay. Mm-hmm. That, there's like Sherry's hasn't shown up yet because, she might have her background screens and stuff like that. But this is where they're at. So notice how I've got in here, in this case, Elmcrest. We can see that. Waverly, boom. It's very simple for a parent to look at that versus, trying to think of where I could show you something. I think I've taken care of it. I've kind of gone through all of them. I'm trying to show you one that might, I got to change it. Okay, right here. PGA Junior League program. Well, who is that? If I'm a parent and I'm looking at that, now I know down here to look at Lake Hallie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So, but you understand what I'm saying in that
right.
that's why it was so critical that we can go up here and we can, I know that this is Medina CC, Oak Marsh, whoever it might be, right? And as you go, it's got everything in here. You know, here's your registration date. It tells you what the coaching fee and the annual, okay. As you can see it, Wayzata, you know, club membership, access code required. It spells it out for you pretty quick. And if I go to Braemar, which is public golf course, but public golf course, he's still looking for an access code. If anyone clicks on that, now it kind of gives you everything that they've put in there. And now I'm back to here. So good.
Okay.
So that's the gist of everything.